Welcome to Make and Decorate, a podcast for makers who love to sew, quilt, and decorate. Hey everyone, welcome to Make and Decorate. This is episode 11 and it is another mini-sode. So I've got a few things to talk about and it'll be a short episode to get us through the rest of the week. I first want to say to everyone in California and those who have friends and family out there that are affected by these wildfires, I really hope that everyone is safe. And it breaks my heart to watch the news footage of this. They say that this is the worst wildfires in California history. And it's been deadly. So I just, and I've got listeners in California, and I really do hope that you are safe and you're okay. You can certainly use my hashtag in Instagram. It's hashtag Make and Decorate Podcast. If you want to, you just, say hello, you're okay, or if you need anything, whatever. So I'm sure everyone, in our community would love to hear from you. So, and then also even over in the other podcast, my friends Dory and Katie from Hobbies Up to Here, they live out in California, and they were so gracious to even offer up anything that they could do for anyone out there, and even, their homes. So I just thought that was really, really great of them to be so caring. And so anyway, just everyone, please be safe. And speaking of California, I just have to tell you, I absolutely love California. If it were up to me, I would be living in Northern California. And I am telling you, I love it out there. I have been out there, I don't know, maybe 4 times. I've been to Southern California. I've been, to San Francisco and north of there in at the Redwoods in Napa Valley, wine country. I just love it. I love the terrain. You have mountains, you have vineyards, the ocean, beautiful, tall redwood trees. Further south, they've got these sequoias. It's just, I love it. I love it so much. And, not that I don't love Chicago. I do love Chicago. I mean, we have the Great Lake of Lake Michigan and a beautiful city. But when you get out into the landscape further out from the city, it is, because what we're known for, prairie land. And it's flat, boring. I should not say this. I don't want to insult anyone, but hey, you know what? I live here, so I think I can say it. But anyway, I just have an affinity for Northern California, and I don't know. When I'm out there, the climate too. I don't really like a really super hot climate, and I certainly don't love like an Arctic climate either, but they just have a really nice temperate climate where it's kind of cool and moderate year-round. So it's all good. I love it. All right, I can just go on and on about that, but let's move on. I made an email for the podcast. It'll be a lot easier. I still have my main email, stephaniesochadesign@gmail.com, but I thought that it might be much easier for you to remember, and it's another way for me to sort the emails from the podcast. And the email is info@makeanddecorate.com. So keep that in mind when you want to send me an email, ask questions, comments, whatever. You also always can comment on my show notes. No one's done that yet. So I don't know, take the time, take a look at the links and so forth. But anyway, you want to contact me, that's fine. I'm also on Instagram, and my hashtag for the podcast is Make and Decorate Podcast. Hashtag Make and Decorate Podcast. All right. So, what else? Yes. The last time I talked about wine coasters, I'm going to try. So hopefully, when this is posted, I'll be able to get a video up in the next couple days after this is posted. We'll see. But I'm not forgetting about it, but the wine coaster tutorial. But what I can talk about today are some tools that you could use and to make these coasters. And because you basically need a 4-inch round shape to cut 5 circles in for the wine coaster. And even though, I originally did it at the 4-inch because I have a die cutter, the AccuQuilt Go Baby, and I also have the little Fabby Sizzix. They don't. What I found what worked best with the wine glasses that I had were actually sewing the seam at 3 3/4 of an inch because it provided just a little bit more snug of a fit. But you'll have to just play around with it. You can the standard size is to just use a 4-inch circle with a 1/4-inch seam. But if you'd like it to be a little bit more snug around the the foot of the wine glass, you could just cut your 4-inch. Let's say if you have a die cutter and you have a 4-inch circle, cut the 4-inch one and do a 1/2-inch seam around it, and then that'll be a nice snug size. So that's the first tool I would say. If you have a die cutter, AccuQuilt or Sizzix, they both have 4-inch circle dies. That's really a time saver, and that's what I used because you can cut your batting layer on there and the top and bottom layers so fast and easy. If you don't have a die cutter, you can also use, a lot of people have Cricut machines, and I think that the newest Cricut, the Cricut Maker, is able to cut fabrics because it has a rotary blade that's available for it. That is so cool. I talk about it actually in next week's episode. So be sure to download that. And I have a wonderful guest. You do not want to miss it. So anyway, then there is always the option to cut it either with scissors or rotary cutters. So I want to talk about rotary cutters. Especially when you're cutting curves and circles, you're going to want the smallest rotary cutter that you have. And if you don't have one, there are 2 smaller sizes, and one of them is the 28 millimeter. And I would say that the blade of that size of a rotary cutter is about the size of a 1/4, and that cuts gentle curves nicely. And what is even better around tighter curves is even a smaller one, and it's the 18 millimeter. And that blade is probably about the size of a dime. It's just to give you an idea. But, the smaller the diameter of the blade, the easier that it will turn and go around curves. So I do like this little 18 millimeter, and I have both of these in a Clover rotary cutter, and the Clover ones are pretty nice. Ergonomically, they're shaped to really fit in your hand well, and they're easy to operate, easy to change the blades. So I think that they're really are pretty good rotary cutters. The other really good one that I always use is my Olfa. So the Olfas that I have are in the standard 45 millimeter size and the big one, the 60 millimeter. So I think the Olfas are just overall, for me, a high-scoring rotary cutter because they're easy to use, they're pretty good quality, And now they have really pretty colors. So I don't know. I love, pretty accessories. They just make creating things much more fun. But other than that, though, I mean, the functionality has to be great too, and the quality. I still have my cutters, and I still use them. My 60 millimeter is that old yellow color, that utilitarian industrial that Olfa used to have. That's all they had. But I've got like a couple of those. But I mean, they're pretty, pricey when you get into that bigger size. And then I also have the one that's more ergonomic and has that automatic safety mechanism where when you your hand lets go of the handle, then it automatically covers up the blade. So that's a nice safety feature to have too. But yeah, I think the Olfas are very accessible, and their most popular size to 45 millimeters, and even in the splash colors, I mean, you can really get those on sale for a great price. And I do want to try their new, I think it is called the Endurance blade, but it's a blade that's supposed to last twice as long and be stronger. And I've heard good reviews on those. I just haven't tried them yet. So yeah, the Olfas are great, and I think the Clover ones are good too. The ones that I don't love so much, I'll just list them off for you. Fiskars. And Fiskars has some cute ones too. They've got cute little, floral designs on them and stuff, but I just don't think the quality is up there with Clover and Olfa. And the ergonomics of the handles, they're a little bit too wavy, like when you are cutting them. When you're rolling the blade across, it's just the leverage is awkward. So I personally don't love the Fiskars. I'd rather get the Olfa or the Clover. And then another brand that, now I don't know this definitively, but I am telling you, I think my personal thought is the Tula Pink rotary cutter looks exactly like the Gingher rotary cutter. So I don't know if they manufacture hers or not, but they look just identical. So that doesn't say anywhere in her packaging who manufactures these rotary cutters, but that's just my Sherlock deduction of observation. And I do have the Tula Pink rotary cutter. It is sleek. It's beautiful. And for a while, it worked really well, ergonomically shaped, fits in my hand well. I like the weight of the handle too, but it's just so beautiful. I mean, you like working with it. However, I was really disappointed when I had to change the blade. It's very hard, complicated to change the blade. I mean, especially when you're used to just flicking up the switch on the Olfa blade and it drops it out and you just drop another one in. This is not like that at all. This is that kind where you have to, unscrew the little thing and other stuff. And then there's a switch inside and the plastic switch inside and the mechanism where it covers up the blade. That part is pretty awkward to get back together once you put the new blade in there, and the plastic part broke off. So I was really disappointed. This is an expensive rotary cutter, and it should not be breaking like that. And that cheap little plastic piece should not be that difficult to slide on and off, and it really is. It's a challenge. So I don't know. I really wanted that rotary cutter to be like the best in the world. Beautiful yet functional, easy to use, but it doesn't. So this is my own personal opinion. And I really, it still sort of works, but you could tell that the little piece is broken because it's not completely, I don't know. I probably shouldn't be using it, but I still kind of pull it out and want to use it here and there. But anyway, so that is my take on rotary cutters. There is another rotary cutter I would like to try. It is on my list, and it's by Kai, Kai. Kai is a brand of, it's a high quality brand of scissors. I've got a couple of pairs of their scissors, and they are amazing. I highly recommend them. So, I want to try their rotary cutters. So when I do, I'll let you know. All right, so we're nearing the end of this mini-sode, and I just want to let you know what I've been watching on YouTube. I watch YouTube a lot because I have a smart TV that it's really easy to just pull up YouTube and watch. And I've got lots of subscriptions, so I subscribe to a lot of channels. And there's this one called Living Traditions Homestead. And it's a family that became homesteaders in the last couple of years, and they started doing videos, I think even before they actually, I'm not quite sure actually, I think when they just got their homestead. But they used to live in Arizona, in metropolitan area, office jobs, all of that. And slowly, they had a really good plan, and they slowly, just kind of like attained their dream of becoming homesteaders. And I think they're somewhere in the Ozarks of Missouri. Beautiful farm. They've got animals, chickens, goats, beautiful gardens, and good recipes. So I just like watching their show and how they do things. It was so cool. She grew some loofah gourds and showed how you made loofah sponges from them, which is basically after the gourd is peeled, you just rinse it out. I mean, and it is inside that gourd is a loofah sponge. It's just amazing. Just to really see where things really come from, and learn a lot. So I love that one. In fact, I made one of their recipes last weekend. It's called a beer bread, and it's a no need. You just mix up the ingredients, toss it in the oven in a bread pan, and an hour later you have this really great homemade bread. So that channel, and another channel is Mr. Domestic. He has a video out now for a Scandinavian ornament. It is so cool. You guys got to check that out. It is really interesting, and it doesn't look that complicated to make, and they're so cute. So that one, and the last one I'll just give you is, there's a million others, but the fold line. And if you are you sew clothing, you probably know all about the fold line, but she just did a couple of videos and talked about the new fall release of her patterns. So that's a really good channel, and I like it a lot. So let me know what you guys are watching out there, and I hope that you have a great weekend. And next week, I've got a really great guest. You are going to love it. You're going to love her. You probably already know her. So be sure to download that, and it comes out next Thursday on Thanksgiving. So I know a lot of you are going to be doing some crafting, making, and sewing that weekend, and take a listen. All right. Bye for now. Thanks for listening to the Make and Decorate podcast with Stephanie Socha Design. Come find me on my website at stephaniesochadesign.com and check out the show notes page. Post your comments, send me an email, let me know what you're up to and what questions you might have. I'd really love to hear from you. Toodles! Until next time. Bye!